So guys, Cobham FC TV, we are having tea with the Lewingtons. I am here with Dean Lewington, Craig Lewington and Ray Lewington, footballing royalty. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Really helps us to grow the content. And today, in today's episode, we are talking to the Lewingtons about their footballing pedigree. So, guys, Dean, the Football League appearance record holder. How many appearances is it?
I don't know.
He knows. He knows exactly what it is. He does.
For one club, it's
That in total?
in total it's like 920 something.
920.
He's got it tattooed on his arm.
It's not changing now.
You must be proud of that.
I wouldn't say proud. I think sort of thankful that I've been able to do that. Yeah, I think.
Because that's a long career.
No, I've been really lucky that for most of it, it's gone fairly similarly. Really, it's just played a lot of games, enjoyed playing as well, and been in some good teams and had some good times. And I've been fairly lucky with injuries and done well to get to 40. Yeah.
Because you talk about it, you mention injuries, and that's a huge part of a football career. So you've escaped pretty injury-free throughout your career.
Yeah, I was torn my hamstring 3 years ago. But apart from that,
Yeah.
it's been really nothing really. A couple of weeks here and there, but on the whole, I've been very lucky.
And how do you keep because you're 40,
I'll be 41 in May. Yeah.
40 years old, how do you keep yourself so fit and injury-free? What's the secret?
I
Just do the opposite to Craig, to be fair.
was going to say he's 40. His paper round was like that. It was all uphill. Look at him.
Yeah, whatever he does, don't do.
What was yours down there?
Like my playing career.
I've been fairly lucky. I caught like the back end of the old school in terms of not too much sports science, and in a way I sort of kept that a little bit.
Okay.
Just sort of keep moving, keep going with it, not overly stress about doing too much or some lads they sort of take on new fads and you're designed a certain way and you're used to playing a certain way, and if you try and change too much too quickly, I think people get injuries and stuff like that. So I've been fairly consistent and just a bit of luck, I suppose, along the way.
Okay. So the other week we did a walk with me. We did an interview and we had some fantastic insight about your Wimbledon process, and obviously you were part of the crazy gang and that then got disbanded and then went on to be Milton Keynes Dons, and you've been there ever since. So you're essentially a one club man.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on who you talk to. It's felt, obviously now it feels different because everything moves on, but I'm sure every club feels like that in terms of 20 years later it feels completely different. But when we first moved, kind of like Dad did with his Chelsea team, we had the same with my Wimbledon team. That sort of there was 5, 6 of us in my year. There was a couple in Craig's year that were already in the team as well. So from one youth team, there was maybe 9, 10 players in that team. So it felt like the same.
Yeah.
When you got into that first team, when we moved, my year became like the oldest year, and then there was years below us, like Jason Pungent and people like that, who were just below us. They got into the team, so it kind of felt home from home, different kit, different location, but in terms of your day to day, it felt largely the same. Yeah.
So obviously over that period as well, I think for me, what has grown massively is when you started, essentially there was not really any social media, and then obviously social media today, I mean this is what we're doing right now, it's not say it's everything, but it's everywhere. How has that impacted your career both positively and negatively?
I'm not sure if there is a positive really. I think at the top end there's marketing, there's opportunities to sort of promote your brand or yourself. I'm not sure if there's much positive to get from that in terms of if you're not after anything monetary or after fame. I'm not sure what you get from it. Okay. Negatively, it's just something that it's intrusive into what you read now. I think probably Dad's career and probably Craig's as well, where you can play badly, go in the bar, and someone might say something to you, but you're face to face, and so largely it's going to be a restricted conversation. I think when you read something online, it's probably said in the same way, but it's black and white, and you might read it a day later.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have that, you know, people are saying it when they're really angry, or you've just lost, and you're reading it a day later, and it stays forever. And so you're dealing with the emotion of it. Maybe 2 days later, you might stumble across it. 3 days later, or you know, and it's directly to you, and you don't have that face to face where you can see someone saying it jokingly, he's having a bit of a laugh at you. You're reading it with no context.
Definitely.
It can be
Dad had to take, didn't you, during the Euros, Raheem Sterling kept reading the socials when he was getting a bit of stick. He had that tattoo of his gun on his leg, whatever it was.
AK-47.
And he weren't having a great time in the competition. He kept reading the socials, wasn't it? So they would sort of almost had to take his phone away from him, didn't you? So it does have a negative, it does have a positive, but it has a very big negative. They're only human at the end of the day.
I get that, and I've sort of, I suppose, experienced it on a much lower level, and I find the things that people say online are not necessarily things that would come out of people's mouths, and not necessarily things they'd say to your face either. It's just online. It's sort of behind a keyboard. Let's, you know, sort of say, you know, they feel they can say what they want, venting frustration, but that can have a negative impact on one's demeanour and one's person. How have you? What sort of coping strategies and ways have you found dealing with that?
Yeah, I think you have to really take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I think like anything, it's not personal. The person who said it probably 3 or 4 hours later has moved on.
Dave from Doncaster sitting in his mum's bedroom, you know, having a go.
They move on, and you're kind of reading it and thinking, you know, they're down the pub with their mates and probably can't remember even watching the game. You know, and you have to sort of take it in that light, and you know, you're doing a job that's in the public eye, and ultimately, if you can't handle it, then you get it. You're in the wrong job, sort of thing. And you know, with the positive, I will say, just saying that, thinking about what Craig said, that you know, our cousin Luke, Ayling at Leeds, and
Luke Ayling.
So he had a problem with his speech and his stammer.
Right.
And so Luke was doing interviews, but he would have a stammer, but he'd always front up and do his interviews. And Luke became an ambassador, didn't he, for the Stammer Foundation and stuff. And so through him doing that, he sort of able to probably reach more people than they could ever dream of doing. And so there are things like that where you can, maybe vulnerable groups or people that don't have the light shine on them a little bit so much. If you're a player with something that you know you connect with that group with, you can sort of highlight it and you know, bring it positive for some people. So I think in terms of that, there is some positives in that.
And Ray, what was it like? Obviously, with Dean playing for Wimbledon, moving, you know, you were there, right? And then seeing MK Dons sort of, you know, Wimbledon disbands, moves up to NK Dons, you know, at Milton Keynes and becomes MK Dons, and your son's playing there. What's that like? Because one thing I love about you is you know, it's the whole, you know, for full, you've gone through the youth system, you've gone through a variety of clubs, become a player manager, then, you know, a manager, assistant manager at England, and then obviously you've got, you know, sons that are heavily into football. It's a real footballing family. And then, you know, your son that's a record appearance holder in the Football League. What's this whole process like?
I think, I mean, at the time with Dean, especially, we were thinking what the alternative would be. I mean, Wimbledon were in grave danger of going out of business. There was not going to be anything else. There was going to be nothing. And when they got moved, all right, there was a lot of people who were unhappy with it. But for me, I thought, well, this is an opportunity for Dean, you know, to go and play. I actually was manager of Watford when we played MK Dons when they first come up.
Really?
Yeah, he was.
So hang on, so you?
No, we were still Wimbledon.
You were still Wimbledon.
So you managed a team against
and
your,
we got
your
a
son
picture. There's a picture of I'm on the side as manager.
Wow.
And he's come to take a throw-in. And I'm kicking him a ball or throwing him a ball, whatever. And he's going to take the thing. So we both games, didn't we, that season?
No, I missed the first one.
You missed the first one.
It's how I got my chance because the boy got injured.
Right, but the one at the hockey stadium.
No, I played you at Watford.
You played at Watford, did you? So we had one game against
that. That must be a real footballing experience. It's very unique.
Yeah, I mean it was weird at the time because you obviously
want to beat them.
I want to beat them.
I see the tactics the night before. It said target 3. Can't run.
was 25 back then.
So a little birdie tells me that you have a day at MK involving wigs.
Wigs. There was my 500th game, which was about 10 years ago now. They had like a orange.
My 500th game 10 years ago. That's now 920.
Yeah, like an orange for Louis Day. I think it was called. It was on social media, so I'm not on social media, so I wasn't really aware of it.
So you're not on social media at all?
No. And then someone said to me, "Oh, they're doing this day," and I kind of assumed it'd be about 4 or 5 people. You know, you're just thinking, this is going to sound rubbish. Like it's going to be really rubbish. And then I walked out, and it was like a Holland game. Literally, the whole stadium was orange. And
really?
Most fans had the wigs, and there's still a fan who goes now every week who wears my shirt and the wig. Still
really?
To this, literally, he's.
They lock him up again after the game. Let him out in the morning.
Yeah, he still goes with his wig on. It was through this one day that was the 500th game. Yeah.
So you're not on social media at all. What's the? Can we go into that a little bit?
I just don't see any benefit really. I find it if I post something that I've done, I find it a bit boastful and a bit look at me and anything else that's meaningful I don't really want it online. So it's kind of why bother really. So it's just stay off it. Yeah.
So you're down here. This is a Thursday night. For those of you who don't know, down here helping your brother, Cobham FC. How are you finding that?
Yeah, I love it. I've been really lucky that I'm sort of coming to my end now, and I'm starting to move into coaching. And I was talking to Craig, and he said, "Listen, like, there's a group of lads. If you want to come down and do a session, we've got 16, 17 lads. Come down and do sessions and get some practice in." And so that's where it started from. And so come down, we did a session. The session I did, they scored off my session on the Saturday, and I think everyone decided that this was the way to go. And so we've been coming ever since. It's just really lucky that the boys are really good. There's some really talented lads in there. Yeah, they're really eager. They're quite a young squad as well, so they want to learn. And Craig's great that he just lets me do a session. Not every week, but I come down every week to a session, and sometimes do a bit of finishing work after with the strikers that want to do it, and just basically be around it. Is coaching's it's a completely different experience to playing football. Definitely. No matter how many games you played, it's, on the other side of the fence is a whole new skill set, and talking in front of people, planning a session, doing sessions is completely different, and experience of doing it is something that you can't just get. You have to go and
no,
do
definitely.
It.
I think closest thing I've experienced it to it is I'm a coach of the under 12 Rebel Girls. My daughter plays here, and I love that. I get a lot from it, and we replicated the Arsenal corners a couple of months ago, and we've scored 12 set pieces in the last 2 months. And at first the manager was like, "This isn't going to work. They're not going to understand it." And do you know what? They've absolutely nailed it. Yeah, it's unbelievable, and the thrill and the excitement get out of it now being the other side. So with that, where do you see yourself? You still look fit as a fiddle, and what's the future hold for you with regarding coaching, management? Because being around football for that period of time, you've got a lot to offer.
Yeah, I think it's probably my last season, and when it finishes, it will be hopefully going into coaching. Okay. I'm not sure where or what it looks like at the moment, but just finished my B, going to start my A in the summer, okay. And try and get experience wherever I can, and hopefully it's with Milton Keynes, but if not, then take the next opportunity, and I'd like to stay in football and do some coaching.
Getting a bit worried though. I keep seeing him talk to Dave, the chairman.
So that's the route you want to go down. Coaching, definitely moving forward.
Yeah, I think I've got an idea of what I like and how I feel the game should be played. I think management is kind of an offshoot of that. Yeah. In that ultimately you get all the decisions, and if the coaching led to management, then that'd be great. But I think the style of it is kind of management and coaching, and helping players in that regard.
So coaching, managerial style, what would you say? You a hairdryer kind of man, or are you a calm and peaceful, or just delivering it how it needs to be, tactical? What's your?
Yeah, kind of. As I said earlier, I was trying to do opposite to Craig, so trying to be a little bit calm. Yeah. I find like it's more, I think, trying to get the points across as calm as you can, but also in a positive manner. I think encouragement and being positive with boys goes a long way, and so I think as long as they're trying to do the right things.
I think you have to have the other side to you as well, don't you?
There's a firmness to it.
I think if you go in and shout every week, it loses its effect.
Yeah.
Oh, here he goes again, bore off. Where if you can get your points across positively, like Dean said, but they know you've got that side to you that you can go on one if you need to. I think that's personally I find that's how it works. Don't know about Dad, and he'll find to come, but if it's the same shouting every week, it just loses its.
Got to be able to mix it up a bit.
So I think he's right.
So look, the sort of the genre and the theme that I've over these last 3 episodes with you guys is obviously this. You're a footballing family. Football for me brings people together, and I know it certainly has in my family, and it's something that I love. I'd just like to sort of, I suppose, round these episodes up with you guys. If you could just give us something that football has really, how it's impacted in your lives, and the best thing that you take out of it. Whether it's a most memorable experience or it's what it's given you massively. So I'll start with you, Craig.
Dad's bought me a house and my cars. Cheers, Dad. just football.
Yeah.
Like football in general. Like, done it since we were that high. I do it for a living.
Yeah.
This is basically a full-time job. As much as it isn't, it is.
Yeah.
So it's my life really. It's just it's what I do.
Yeah.
If it was taken away from me, I'm not really sure. I couldn't be sat in an office, or I couldn't be sat at home watching the results come in. So it's just enjoyment really. It's given me 20-25 years of enjoyment. So,
Dean?
I think it's probably the people really. I think we're really lucky that our Sundays normally we go around, Dad will go out for dinner and we sit around the table. Probably 85% of the conversation is about football. When we was all in it. I mean, Dad a little bit sort of not so much now, but when we all had games on the weekend, it was kind of like debrief of everyone's game, and it kind of, that's what we was as a family. We just talk about it, and the friendships that you make along the way. My group of friends now is all people that I played with at Sunday League level, from sort of 6 to 11, and you kind of form those friendships, and luckily they stay, and you're connected with the football, and it sort of it builds that network around you.
Wow. The governor, the main man last.
Well, I just think that we got to never forget that we're incredibly lucky. To live, make a living, and to live for and have a career out of something that most people will give their right arm for.
Definitely.
There's plenty of, when you're actually involved in it, there's plenty of highs, but there's more lows, unless you're incredibly lucky. So there's lots of lows, and sometimes you do wonder why you do it, but you get up next day and then reality sets in. We're lucky people, this is football. People love football. It's the world's most popular game, and we're in it. We're in it, and we're earning a living from it. So, never forget it.
Okay, and I am going to wrap it up on this. But your best bit of advice that you could all give anyone looking to have a career in football. Let's start with you, Craig.
I remember when I was an apprentice, so you're full time, you beg for a day off. Like I'd wake up some mornings and think, for our sake, I can't be bothered with training today. Now, like when I got released, I would have done, like Dad said, I'd have done anything to go back to full time. So literally every opportunity you get, take it. Don't slack. Every minute you can be on that pitch, be on it for that minute, and give it your all.
Dean?
Probably perseverance. Like Dad just mentioned, there is so many lows. Every manager's got an opinion. It's not always going to be favourable. You're going to have those ups and downs in your careers. When it's on the low bit, it's like, do you give up? Do you walk away? Do you want to do something else? Do you want to take the easy route out, or do you come back the next day and think, all right, I'm going to go again. I'm going to show him. And football is a brutal industry. Everyone wants to do it, and you've got to stick at it. It's not for quitters. You've got to keep going at it, and if you get lucky, you have an amazing career. But you've got to stay in there.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Just dedicate yourself to the game. You're gonna get bad days. You're gonna get good days. But whatever happens, you know, never forget. Just never forget, and dedicate yourself to it. You know, if you have a bad period, you've got to get out of it. You know? You've got to get out of it. So there's no easy way. But as I say, just remember that there's so many people who would like to be in our position.
Yeah.
So we just got to be thankful that we're in it.
Definitely. Well, look, thank you very much, guys. Look, I have had an absolute blast filming these episodes with you guys. I'm really grateful and I'm really appreciative. It has really made my day. So most appreciated, and you know, it's been an absolute blast. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, hit that button, please like, please share, and please comment. Please let us know in the comments if you like this content, what you'd like more of, and if there's a way you'd like us to do it, because that helps us to grow the channel. So Marty from Cobham FC TV signing out.